Hi, I'm Non-Glitter Dicks Matt, Pete Peterson, superfan, and welcome to Jackass.
Eaglehub!
Right, like I said, welcome to Eaglehub. Eaglehub is for entertainment purposes only. The Eagles are just degenerates that love beer and hero clicks and engage in a lot of hyperbole. The drunken sentiments expressed on this show are not indicative of the Pacific Northwest as a whole, and if you get offended by something they've said, just remember, they've said something far worse about Daniel Schroeder. I am very happy to approve this message. Get wrecked, nerds!
Hello and welcome to the Eaglehub. I'm, as always, your host, King Bryan.
Hello, my name is Cory, GD Eagle.
Cory cut me off before I got to say
My bad.
OG and Eternal Clicks Dad.
There you go. Nice.
Challenging all challengers to the throne. Well, Cory, Washington State ROC this last weekend.
Woo.
Lots to get into.
It was a good time. Silver Age.
But first, I hope you have a beer of the episode because I am drinking a copious amount of box wine. The philosopher was over at my house last week and bought a giant box of box wine and then just left it. And, you know, it would be in poor taste of me to just let that box wine go to waste. So
Very tasty, very tasty. Yes, I do. Look at this.
it's that sexy can.
It's a great notion. Orange creamsicle. Hazy IPA with fruit.
Yeah.
I had to represent the Juice Boys out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We haven't forgotten, Juice Boys.
Pretty good.
Tastes like an orange creamsicle.
Yeah, it does. Let's see what it got in there. IPA with orange, tangerine, natural, and artificial flavors. That's all it says.
Can you taste the artificial flavors?
Oh yeah, it's orange. 7%. Drinking out of the can. Sorry, Chip.
You know what? He's not on this show. You don't have to apologize to him.
Yes, thank you.
He doesn't have producer access to come on and scream at us.
Yes, get wrecked.
We've never had an eagle scream during production. Practice, maybe. Man, so our drive up to Washington State, 3.5 hours from Portland up to Redmond, Washington, which is a suburb of Seattle, just to the north. We had our buddy Jason, straight from the fishbowl.
P&W Bros.
P&W Bros. Go Bros.
Shout out.
Been working on him to start doing some knowing is half the battle type memes because, you're already there for branding. Start doing it.
He was all for it, so maybe we'll see some somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, Cory, this will be the first Eaglehub 2 that will have our disclaimer intro on it.
Oh shit. So did you guys like that?
Hope you liked it because it's going to be there for a while.
Comment down below who it is, if you know.
Also, a little bit, I would hope you would know since he says his name in it.
Well, he's in another thing, but it doesn't show his face as much, so.
Yeah. But anyways, we were talking about, on the drive up, we were talking about the old Eagle practices and how at some point it would always end up in me having to play like 3-on-1. And that would always devolve at some point to, man, fuck you guys. Just let me play.
Brian's just over here getting picked on. I think it was Schroeder. Me.
Yeah, it'd be like Schroeder playing with like you and Chip coaching him.
Yeah, like, hey, Daniel, why'd you do that? Why don't you do this and put it over here? And then Brian's just over here, getting so pissed. He's just like, shut up, let him play.
Yeah. Also, some conversation on that ride about maybe firing up the dojo again.
Oh yeah, Eagle Dojo.
Aaron, who we're going to talk about here in a little bit, reached out to me about maybe trying to get in some practice too. So maybe Eagle Dojo is going to become a thing again.
I hope so. I want to play more. It takes me like an hour and plus to play in person with other people, which is fun. Which I'll probably give them a shout out. But yeah, it's kind of rough.
The Roll20 dojo might be a piece going forward, and I don't know. Maybe we even start doing some more content off of the dojo.
Eagle and friends.
Eagles and friends. So, after today, we won't have any tournaments to talk about for a little while. So we're gonna have to figure out what the hell kind of content the Eagle Hub makes. So
Yeah.
stick around. We've got some ideas, but we'll see where it goes. But with that, I suppose it's time we should get into the Washington State ROC Championship. It was a 400-point silver event. 20 players, not bad. Not quite as many as Oregon, but pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
And as history would have it, worst first. And once again, Cory, I don't like this. It's becoming a pattern.
Bro!
I get to go first. So I was playing...
Wait, what place you come in?
I placed 6th place in the tournament, so I was top 8 this time. Redeemed myself from my Oregon top 16 lost in that wacky format. We'll leave it at that.
What'd you play?
So I played a monster theme team. I had Death and Grim Reaper from the Undead set. Death with the Bloodstone, Grim Reaper with the Spin and the Zero Ring. Both Death and Grim Reaper have a trait that when a friendly character with the monster keyword deals damage, after resolutions you deal 1 unavoidable, and if it doesn't KO, you heal 1. So with the Bloodstone, that just means every time I deal damage to you with an attack, you take 2 more unavoidable damage afterwards. Then I had Carnage Silver Surfer at 50 points with the Lightning Ring and the Spectral Ring.
Nice.
Sky Tyrant with Pog Your Pog. Necron, the Commissioner with Time Gem. Carnage, and Prime Hulk on a motorcycle.
Oh, you have a Necron? Why didn't you put Animal Man's on Necron?
I was out of points.
Isn't it? Oh, it's 10 points. Never mind.
Yeah. So, and then on my sideline, I had Pin Particles, which was very important to my strategy. Shield Throw, which I used almost every match.
With who?
Ares. It depended on the game. Generally, it would be Carnage Silver Surfer.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Because the Lightning Ring still triggers with it, so it would be 4 damage to each hit person.
Ooh, pretty good, pretty good.
But there was also a situational thing where, like, if Sky Tyrant was locked in place by, say, a Halt Mutant, I could also pop off Shield Throw on Sky Tyrant to have him be able to range attack somebody.
Yeah, nice.
Then Ares for my limited on my sideline. The Deadpool that comes in with it when a 75 point or higher monster is KO'd. Had a couple chances to bring him in and forgot to every time. Poseidon, Sentinel, Scroll Spy, and then Case, the Adventure of the Speckled Band. Because its keywords were detective and past, and it's when you outwit an opposing character. So Commissioner and Sky Tyrant could both add tokens to it.
Okay.
For my maps, I had the Atlantis Throne Room from Notorious, Fountain of Asgard, and Guardianship. Guardianship, for certain types of matchups, I wanted something that was like close quarters, but a lot of difficult angles. And the Guardianship has so many walls that it does a good job for that. Fountain of Asgard was kind of my long map that was like easy for me to navigate, but still presented quite a bit of shenanigans to be had. And then Atlantis Throne Room, it was a decent map for my team, and it gave me the opportunity to use Poseidon if need be. So that was my build. I knew going into it that it was going to be a glass cannon because this is a team with no stop clicks, nobody that's a super long dial, and like Sky Tyrant, it's really like if you don't KO something on turn 1, he can be in trouble really, really fast. Carnage Surfer kind of the same way. You need to kind of heal him onto his above dial clicks. And so originally this team had Morlun. Yeah, he's the monster that generates bystanders, right? Morlun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Originally I had him on the team. I realized in running through it, the lack of probability control was a real problem. So Morlun got dropped to add Necron and Commissioner, because with Rookie that would give me 2. And then I realized Time Gem on Commissioner would give me another 7 range prob. So that gives me 3 probs. which is particularly useful because Necron is probably healing off of his prob as soon as I hit. So important to have. And then for terrain markers, dumpster fire and 2 water terrain markers. So not bad. Not bad at all. My first game, I played a kid. His name was John. No, his name wasn't John. He was registered on his dad's account. I don't remember what the kid's name was. Sorry. But he was playing just kind of my favorite pieces build. Had War of the Rings Thanos at 150, Pine Blue Beetle, Hope Summers, Longshot, Beast, Green Man, and Scott Porter. And he delivered me my worst loss.
Bro, he only has 1 equipment full.
I know. And it was the Green Lantern ring on Thanos.
Oh, let's go.
He was a nice kid, but what happened in that game was I miscounted some squares. It led to... I went first, he chose map. And it led to me deciding to try to heal Hulk. I rolled a 1 on both of Hulk's heals, which was not great. And then I had to leave Hulk out in the open, which was kind of a tactical choice of like, all right, let's see if I can get him to just run up to me.
Yeah.
Which he did, and he KO'd Hulk, and I went, oh no. And then it was my turn because he couldn't do anything else. And so I retiled with Carnage, which is an 11 on... he had a variety of defenses, 18 through 20 that turn. Yeah. So 11 on 18 through 20, and my philosophy was, all right, I'm going to go ahead and use Ares right here, because as long as I hit a 7, I'll be able to deal damage to a number of his pieces. And I proceeded to roll a 6, prob it with... used up all 3 of my probs, and never got above a 6. And I go, well, that's fine. I've still got Sky Tyrant's Charge Flurry, and I've got Carnage Surfer and his 2 attacks. I missed all of those, too. Never an attack where I needed more than a 7.
Oh my gosh.
So 4 more attacks with no hits. And then I used Rookie to target 2, and missed with Rookie as well. And Rookie, I think I only needed a 6. Because of the police team ability. So it was just incredible Bryan dice. Like, the type that doesn't really happen. And then, because my team is a glass cannon, he was able to hit a couple things. I had another turn to try to, turn things around a little bit. I did finally hit once. I deleted his Beast and Green Man, I want to say. And then Blue Beetle hit my fucking Carnage Surfer and rolled a 6 on his effect and just deleted Carnage Surfer. It was just... it was one of those games where, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I just went well, that's not great. But thankfully it's 1 round.
It's the first round, too. So
yeah, it was the first round. I was kind of, out of it because I had been rushing around trying to get the stream stuff set up and just did not get fully focused before the game, and that's on me.
No, but that's a big part of it, though, because, even in my day, that kind of messed with me. So, yes.
Yeah. But, just, that was, if I roll like that, I'm not going to win on a team that needs to hit to stay on track. So, yeah, it was one of those, well, that's not going to happen. All right, we flush it. We go to the next round. The next round, I played Oregon State champ, Dustin McKibben, who was playing this janky-ass X-Men team. Let me just read this lineup to you. He was a top 8 team, so we can count this as covering the top 8. For him. It was Prime Thor from Avengers 60th with the Angler, Myrn with Dream Ruby, Havoc from the Gala Pack with Biogram Image, Scarlet Witch from the Gala Pack, the Exoswords Apocalypse and Exoswords Genesis, Venom Magneto, and Proteus. Then on his sideline he had Power Gem, Fortify, Heimdall Sight, Pin Particles, and... oh, he had a trouble alert, too. Look at that.
Flash.
The Flash. So, the whole trick with this team is that this Thor does Pulse Wave, and when he uses it, if the attack roll is doubles, hit opposing characters are dealt 3 damage instead. Which, Havoc has a... let's see, is it Havoc or is it Scarlet Witch that starts it off?
Havoc.
I don't know.
I think has one. Well, they both do, right? Yeah. X-Men.
Yeah. It starts with Scarlet Witch, I think. Yeah. So it starts with Scarlet Witch. She has an invite token. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the Avengers keyword attacks, you may remove an invite token from a friendly character to replace a die in their attack with a 5. So she puts a 5 in Thor's attack. Then that triggers Havoc, who says, once per turn for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the X-Men keyword attacks and the attack roll includes exactly 1 5, you may replace the other die with a 5. So then he has a 10. Then that triggers Havoc's second trait. When a friendly character with the X-Men keyword hits and a 5/5 was rolled, increase the damage dealt to all hit targets by 1. So you use Venom Magneto to free TK out Thor, then you angler him out. He's still got running shot on top of that. You fire off Heimdall's sight, so his pulse wave becomes an 8-range pulse wave. And then you do these shenanigans that bumps Thor's attack to a 4 damage pulse wave. And it's going to be a 22, so it's likely hitting everything. And then he also has Power Gem, which, when a friendly character attacks and the finalized attack roll is 10 or higher, you may have that attack roll become a critical hit. So then it guarantees that it hits everyone. And it increases the damage 1 more. So now it's a 5 damage pulse wave. And because it doubles, it's knockback.
And this is an X-Men theme because of Apocalypse and Genesis. That's how Thor's getting that keyword.
So, it's very much a one-trick pony because once it's used that, the combo is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. But it's really like if you don't hit that, you're in for a grind for the rest of the game. I knew this team. I didn't have a good answer to it. I tried to pull some shenanigans. I was able to keep Carnage Surfer out of the pulse wave area, which left me a chance to like try to soak up some points.
What map did you guys go to?
I went on. He won roll off and opted to go first, and I went on Asgard Fountain, which I thought about guardianship, but I was like, he gets to choose the angle. So then, like, the only thing I can kind of do is I can try to like split up and run down the different corridors so that he can't get lines on everybody.
Yeah.
But I also was kind of like, I also don't want to give away that trick in case I have to face him again. Which is very optimistic of me because I'm going to be going 0-2 by not doing that. But that's what I did. So I lost that one. So 0-2, I had like 100 points total from those 2 games. Then my third round, I faced Zach Strong, who was playing Murder Machine with Incandescence and Lightning.
Friend of the show.
Out at 60 with Universal Weapon. Mr. Oz, Everett K. Ross, Green Man with Avatar Khonshu, the Phoenix, and a boxing ring.
He didn't have a WWE ring, I guess.
Yeah, he won a WWE ring, but he did not have it.
I think
but also, Universal Weapon's on Hadari, so it's not like he was going to pick any WWE powers anyways.
Chokehold or whatever the fuck it's called.
So, against Zach, I don't even recall. Let me see.
Oh,
Zach?
He played Hadari at 60?
Yeah.
What a maniac. What the...
Mm-hmm. He's a madman.
He is a madman.
I went first against Zach. I do not recall which map he put me on. But what I do recall is that I killed Hadari in one shot because I ran out and shot her with Carnage Surfer. She took her 2 max damage, and then she took 2 unavoidable afterwards. So she was down. He was down to Murder Machine and Everett K. Ross, I want to say. And I also had Murder Machine down multiple clicks. He got off a hit with Murder Machine that KO'd a couple things, so he got a bunch of free attacks. Didn't really do anything, and then I cleaned him up the next round. It was a pretty fast sweep. The round after that, I played another dude, Jordan Fricks, who is kind of new, getting back to the scene.
Woo.
I really liked his team. It had, due to the shape of it, it had some choices that I wouldn't have made, but I understand why he made them. So his team was Hal Jordan and Sinestro duo from the Legacy from Batman Team Up with the Power Gem.
Nice.
Then he had Silver Surfer from the Herald's pack with Avatar of Khonshu. He had Mogo with Avatar of Taret. Green Man with the Green Lantern ring. Which Scott Porter? Black Shirt Scott Porter. And the Legacy Kingdom Come Green Lantern. I think he went. Let's see. He went first against me, and I chose the Atlantean map against him. He had a really clever play because I just stayed in my starting area. I made rookie. I healed up Hulk, and that was about it for my turn 1 because he stayed in his starting area. But he had a really interesting move where he yellowed across and went straight for my death and KO'd my death.
Well, he doesn't have any Herald swap.
No, which is the one thing that I would have changed is stylistically I would have really liked to have seen at least one Herald option on his sideline.
Yeah, he had one more spot.
His moderns were all taken up. No, he had a modern slot, so I don't know why he didn't have somebody there. No, he did have because the Hal Jordan and the Sinestro that he had were both modern, and Resolve of the Green and Diabolic Bargain. So it was like, I understand why, but I still would have liked to have seen at least one Herald option on his sideline. But anyways, so he makes that opening attack, and he KO'd my, not my Death, my Grim Reaper. No, Death. The one that had the Bloodstone on them. So his opening attack was to YOLO out Hal Jordan and Sinestro and take out Death. I lost the Bloodstone, or I dropped the Bloodstone. I think he KO'd Sky Tyrant as well. But then, so I had to do a weird maneuver to go have TK angles to get Necron onto the Bloodstone so I could re-equip the Bloodstone. And then I was able to whittle him down. It was a good back and forth game for a little while, but just my damage was too much for him. His support pieces all went down really fast. I know that Silver Surfer dial by heart, so I knew what to do with it. But it was an interesting team. It was like probably the most interesting build that I faced in Swiss of just like something original. And I'm excited to see what Jordan comes up with as he keeps playing a little bit. So that puts me at 2-2 going into the last round of Swiss. I know because I've scored basically 400 in the last 2 games. All right, all I need to do, I need to win this game, and I need to score a decent amount of points. I got matched up with our buddy Alex Firo, who was running unthemed Onslaught team. So he had 2x2 Onslaught at 125. He had Prime John Stewart at 100. He had Toyman. He had Hella's cool Iconics Riddler. Made me very happy. Umbrax and a White Rabbit Goon.
I tried to talk him into throwing Animal Man on Onslaught, but he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. That would have been good. It probably would have been better than White Rabbit Goon, honestly.
Oh, 100%. But hey.
So there's a trick with Toyman, and he had talked to me about it ahead of time. So Toyman has it on his trait. At the beginning of the game, if you weren't the first player, you may unequip an equipment from an opposing character and equip it to Toyman. I won roll off and said, "What are your maps?" And he got this little sparkle in his eye as soon as I asked that. And I said, wait. Can I see Toyman's card? And he hands it to me. He's like, "Oh, Bryan." I was like, "Oh, you almost got me, Alex."
I demand more toys.
So I was like, no. What? You know what? You can go first. I'll choose map.
Dang.
And then he rolled out with Onslaught. He got some interesting mind controls off, but not quite enough to completely mess me up. And then I was able to basically kill Onslaught and John Stewart. Let's see, I killed Onslaught on turn 2, and I got John Stewart down to like click 6, I want to say. And I had healed up Hulk. I think I rolled a 5 and a 4 for Hulk. So I'd healed Hulk 5 times on turn 1, and then I healed him again. Hulk was on like click 2. And so it was all right, even if one of my main attackers goes down, I've got enough other stuff. And so I won. I beat Alex. The rest of the game, I think, was like in about 50 minutes. Or not, 40 minutes total, probably. So I won that. I swept him. I said, all right, for sure I'm into top 8. And then my last match of the day was top 8 against who is becoming just a known Bryan killer in our friend Merritt.
Oh, back to the oldies, but the goodies.
Yeah, this was Merritt getting to play what Merritt does best, which is Fantastic Four.
Just Lockjaw. He always plays Lockjaw.
Yeah. So Merritt's team was a Fantastic Four Spider-Man, Franklin Richards, Black Leopard, The Thing, Invisible Woman, Lockjaw, Leech, Scott Porter. He had Stones of Merlin on Leech, he had the Beetle Pod on Lockjaw, and he had Avatar of Animal Man on Franklin, and he had Mjolnir on Spider-Man. When the game started, he swapped out Invisible Woman and Spider-Man for Wolverine and She-Hulk. And let's see, did he go first against me? Yeah, he went first against me. So I picked the water map because I thought this is one where I might have to actually use Poseidon because of Halt Mutant, which like the water map and Poseidon was kind of a like pick for Halt Mutant specifically, which he did. He so you know the base of this team is kind of a like defensive shell where you're using Black Leopard's maximum values and the Thing's defend and everybody being able to mastermind to Lockjaw to kind of keep your attackers alive. So you add in Halt Mutant, and it means that he can just run up and lock you down, and then you're stuck in place. I knew that was happening, so I spread my team all the way across, but I left it. I did end up leaving it in a way where he could lock down both Sky Tyrant and Carnage Surfer, which was dumb of me, but it happens. So he locked me down. I was able to the free place in a character in an adjacent square thing on the spin ring is not a power. So even though Leech was adjacent to me, I can still use that. And so I was able to spin Leech into an adjacent square and get my powers back for my 3 guys in my starting area. And then I was like, well, I know I have to get through Lockjaw, and the lowest possible defense I can hit is Leech. So I'm just going to start beating on Leech and make Merritt choose what he needs to do. Which I did. By the end of that turn, Lockjaw was really low. He'd used Fortify, which it turns out wasn't on his build, and we'll talk about later. But he used Fortify on Leech on one of them to keep Leech alive. And then he turned around, KO'd a bunch of my stuff. I finished off Leech and Lockjaw. When the first time I KO'd Leech, he brought in Abscissa to keep Leech alive, which I then just used to kill Abscissa and Leech the next turn. But due to how slow everything was going, I had been whittling down Franklin because his next move after I took them out was to kind of try to tie down my attackers with Franklin. And because of my bonus damage, I got Franklin down low. And he retreated with Franklin. The next turn went after a duo attack on She-Hulk and Black Leopard. And I hit both. I assigned 3 damage to Black Leopard and 1 damage to She-Hulk.
Did you have to use the pinch against that guy?
I couldn't just because of how the angle was set up. But the result of it was it ended up with Black Leopard on his last click, She-Hulk on her last click, and Franklin on his last click. Black Leopard and Franklin were both adjacent to the thing, so they both had 19 defenses. And as I'm resolving the hypersonic where I made that hit, last action got called. So I go like, all right, I've got an after resolutions attack, and then the game's over. I get this because it's part of resolving the action.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nowhere that I can place to get a shot off on She-Hulk without being within range and line of fire of Black Leopard, who's now on a 9 attack. I still had Rookie in, so I was able to use the police team from Rookie. And he still had Scott Porter alive, so everybody who's adjacent to somebody is getting +1 to their defense. So She-Hulk was an 18, up to a 19, back down to an 18. And I had a 9 attack, so I needed to roll a 9 to KO. And I did not, and that was game. We counted up points, and I lost 125 to 120. Now, the next day, Merritt messaged me, and he's like, I was talking with Cal after the game about that match, and I realized I used Fortify against you, and I didn't have it on my build. I feel terrible about it. And I said, "Oh man, that's a bummer." I was unhappy about it, but I wasn't pissed because it brings up a tournament rules issue that I've been thinking about, which I've been thinking about since I came back almost a year ago now. Is we use HC units for all of the build management stuff now, which is great. Means you don't have to print build sheets and all of that, and it's a fantastic tool. I love it. But the tournament rules saying that you can't look at an electronic device during the match means I have no way when my opponent says, "Oh, I'm going to use Fortify," for me to go, "Wait, is Fortify on your build?" Because I don't remember seeing it on your build. So it's a gap in the tournament rules right now. I feel like they need to just be like, you can have a phone out, but you can only look at HC units, because it's not fair to not be able to check your opponent's build. So I'm not overly upset about it because it happens. And I'd been talking to somebody that day about the thing with tournaments is you play 5 rounds of Swiss and then you get into top 8, and by the time that you're reaching top 8, you're in brain is mush mode. I wasn't there completely, but I didn't check Merritt's. I didn't even check Merritt's build before we started, because the whole HD units thing and not being able to look at your phone during matches has gotten me out of the habit of even verifying my opponent's build.
Yeah. Plus, it's Merritt. It's not like he's gonna go out of his way to cheat you or
Yeah, I know. And that was what I told him is dude, I know you didn't do it intentionally. Yeah. I know you well enough to know that that's not how you are.
Yeah, he went out of his way to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, my bad, I fucked up."
Yeah.
W Merritt.
Yeah. So, for me, it's a problem with the rules as they are right now. It's something that needs to be addressed a little bit. But so I lost that game, 125 to 120. Ends my day. Yeah. So I finished 6th place. I'm fine with it. I think very well could have played out a little bit differently for me. And who knows then? I would have loved to have played the Syndicate team that Merritt played the next round, because I feel like my team just choose that team. But that's the breaks sometimes. So
why did you play what you played?
So there was 2 things. One was I wanted to play with something kind of outside of the normal, which was Death and Grim Reaper. I've been looking at them since I came back. I ran that stupid Harley thing with Poison Ivy to get the bonus damages from Harley with the Bloodstone.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was neat. And I knew that, there's enough monsters that can deal, a bunch of damage to a bunch of people, and that combos really well with dealing a bunch of extra damage. And so I knew it was a meat grinder team. I also knew it was a glass cannon going in. I fully expected at some point the dice would just screw me over and I'd lose something. So, in that respect, it played about as well as I expected, and I would have loved to have made top 4 to get a map, but that was the breaks sometimes. Yeah. Does that answer kind of
Yeah.
You were.
I was just wondering, like, hey, how we both build. Like, I want to play this. I want to build around this like little gimmick or mechanic or whatever. So that's ideally what I was.
Yeah, and for me, this was a like, I've been playing more recently. I've been playing kind of like a combo. Like, it's not an aggro defensive shell, but I've been playing a lot of teams that are designed around like taking a hit and continuing to go. And so I wanted for this tournament to just play something that was just aggressive, which this build was 100%. It's just Octane get in your face.
Nice.
So
cool.
But let's move on to you, Cory.
All right. So let's start with my build. I ended up going with the mystical theme because I love mystical.
You do love mystical.
I've been looking at this Legacy Juggernaut for a hot minute. I couldn't bring myself to play it in Modern. I don't know. It's just nothing felt right to like go with it there. So I was like, I'll put it on the back burner, maybe in like Silver if we ever get Silver. And then they're like, hey, States or whatever is going to be either Modern and Silver. And luckily here in the PNW, we got Oregon to run a Modern event, and then we got Washington to run a Silver event. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I can build with that Juggernaut. So that was the premise mainly with this guy. So let's go through it. So I went Juggernaut at 80. I had Dr. Doom, and I hate to say this.
Dr. Doom.
I hate to say this, but he's like a crutch for me. And I just love my mystical squads. And I think Homeboy gets better in Strange Tales comes out. So look forward to playing against that guy some more. And then I was like, all right, well, I need something that disrupts teams that I go against. And the only thing I know that can do that is DJ Doom with his time platform and his D6s that he rolls at the beginning of each game. And then Druid I had on there because he's a good little 30-pointer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, well, I can throw Nightbringer and spin on him so I can get a little bit more mobility and have him be better support. Elsa, I had an idea that I did a couple of times in my games, which was have her there with trick arrows and then also have Juggernaut. And then either I had pin particles on this build so that Juggernaut can carry her across the map, or some way that gives him flight so that he can carry her across the map, because he can do his thing and then after place Elsa somewhere next to somebody that's equipped and then just go to town and steal people's shit. So that was the main thing there with her. But then later on I was like, oh, well, anybody can carry her and do that same thing. So it's not like it has to be Juggernaut. But I was like, oh, that'd be cool to run it that way. And I did a couple of games. I did play it like that. And I got my boy Felix Faust there with the Ring TK, just because he gets prob, outwit, and perplex. So that's always good. I like that he just bops around. And he always pulls his weight when I play him, because more than, I think, 50% that he was denying people to do any of that free shit against me. So I love him. And then I got Tri-Sentinel because he's just such a good retail, and free damage is cool just from being next to stuff. And then my boy Wendigo, because again, he gets the free attack after he moves and things. So it was either going to be Animal Man on Juggernaut or Animal Man on Wendigo, and then just try to fit like Close Combat Expert on Juggernaut, because I ended up using mainly Close Combat Expert for Juggernaut all the time. Because me, being a dummy, I just forget that, oh, I can switch out after he does his thing to be defensive. Like every game. Like I just totally spaced it. So anyways, to sideline, I got the 3 one-shots from Doom. Diabolical Bargain, which always comes in clutch. Evil Enswimement. Occult Retribution, which is pretty key on certain against certain things. And one game it came in clutch big time. Abscissa to keep Juggernaut alive. Obviously Animal Man to go and do Juggernaut things, but forgot all caps Doom just in case I needed it. I got Dr. Doom Sorcerer Supreme for all the rerolls. I never brought any of these guys in. I think I should have in my earlier games just to see how it felt, but I was like, I was rolling decently on Doom dice, so it didn't really matter to me. Lord Doom, again, didn't really need him. I had Mimic, which did come up a couple of games. And then Treasure Chests, which I always kind of forgot, but I wish I remembered because there's a couple of times where I could have popped it out. My maps are Alien Aquarium, tiny map. Ampetunias, which is every time I play Wendigo, I like to play Ampetunia because most likely he's running through a wall from Juggernaut, and then people don't expect him to just like come through stuff also and do the free attacks. Stark Tower, I love that map as well. I didn't have the bonus on it, so it didn't really matter, but I needed a long mat that was indoor just in case I went against something that could shoot me from range to keep my big boys alive. Terrain markers. We got the upper body, which I did end up picking up one from Matt's Cave at the Albany crew. So shout out you guys helping me play games and keep sharp in that area. Dumpster fire, because that's a PNW staple. I'm not gonna 100%. That's us. Joker gas canister caught a lot of people off guard, which is funny. But yeah, it's like an old chipster move for sure. He introduced me into that stupid thing, and I was like, all right, I don't got Cathan. How am I gonna up this Juggernaut's damage and attack?
Yeah, as Cory said on the drive home, now that I don't have Cathan, it's the only way I can get it up. A little purple canister.
A little gas. Yep. Little. Anyways, so yes, if you don't know what Joker Canister does, it's 3 points. It gets you +1 attack, +1 damage, and then it also gives you Battle Fury, but you suffer by taking a -2 to your defense. And then every turn that you start, you roll a d6, and I think a 5 through 6 it equips. Every time I used it, I was down 3 points because I had to destroy it to equip it to Homeboy. But I would always try to, make it work because he's running through and doing 6 damage plus knockback if they don't have any reducers after that. So ideally, most games I would go and try, he would be my main attacker, or at least the alpha if I had it pulled off. So it's either I'm going to TK him up, he either is going to get the perplexed up his movement. Most of the time I topped out on the attacks, so he was always a 14 running through people and then just doing damage, causing chaos, which is awesome. And then he'd just be sitting over there, which sucks because most likely he's going to get KO'd because he's only a 16 after that. But there's certain games where he survived for like another round or whatever that he actually did get to run back through and hit people again. So that was pretty cool. So that was my team and why I went through it because of that Juggernaut. I just wanted to play that Juggernaut. And Wendigo and Tri-Sentinel were there, and I love Dooms. Let's run through my day.
Yeah. Some of your rounds, I don't think there's a lot to tell the tale on.
Bro, everybody, at least most of the games I played against, everybody had Resolve the Green, Fortify, whatever fuck that terrain that I'm running, Upper Body. Like, they have some way of, like, getting out of that alpha, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying it's not a tactic, but it's just, like, that's what everybody had. So, like, every time I would go and do my thing, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to pop this. I'm just like, you bastard. So that's pretty much what happened with my first game, me and Jason. He was playing Emperor Doom, the Chase, which pretty much was me just putting everything into it. I misplaced one of my figures so that my Wendigo wouldn't be able to get in and like double tap him. And that was my fault, but it is what it is. I had if I did do that, I would have taken out his that Doom. But anyway, he ended up using that the Fortify there. I think it was Fortify or Resolve Degree, one of them, and he ended up not taking the full force of that attack. So yeah, squeaked in.
What was the score of that game, Corey?
Big 0-5.
How you can only score 5-0 in a Silver Age game will forever blow my mind.
I think he had Destroyer on, so yeah, it was just my opening stuff just wouldn't hit. Something did hit, but then popping those one shots to keep him alive. Good for you. But I ended up stealing his Destroyer armor with Elsa, so that was kind of cool. But then time got called, and I couldn't do anything else. Second match, we squeak in. I'm going against Jeremiah, which is on stream. He's playing the Phoenix Force, Frogman, Prime Spider-Man. I played that Spider-Man before. I kind of knew what I needed to do against him. And that Phoenix Force Thor is scary, but he doesn't have a lot of damage output on those opening clicks. So I was like, I'm just going to leave this guy alone and go after your support. Which is what I pretty much ended up doing. I took out Spider-Man and Frogman. I'm pretty sure he missed a bunch of his Super Sense rollouts with that Spider-Man. Because I think Frogman was the first one to go. But yeah, that was is on the YouTubes if you want to watch it.
Your next match was on the YouTubes as well.
Bro, I was on YouTube's a lot.
Yeah, maybe definitely not having anything to do with that. I started the day 0-2.
Next match was against Cole, which I think was one of the matches of the day for me because it was very, very, very close. Like at the end of this match, I didn't know if I won or not, but I was just like, yo, that was a good game. Like, cause we just smash and bash. That's all we did. Like, it was a good time. He got off the alpha, but my Doom dice ended up making him miss, which is funny because the second game that I played, spoiler, in Top Cut, he ended up doing the same thing. He tried to alpha me with his Wonder Woman. Let me go over his build real quick. So it's a defensive shell, Soldier Squad. It's Captain Carter, Marvel. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, Wonder Woman with the both equipments that are free on her, belt and ring. We had Sandals Cap with his Dinosaur Mjolnir, Captain America Pegasus with the Ring of TK. He had a Hal Jordan from Masters of Time. With Bass, he had a Scott Porter with the Emo mod. He had a Copycat, Sentinel Pog. These are all the Pogs. So the Copycat, Sentinel Pog, the 2x2. A Weasel and Lucas, PJ, and Scott to keep him safe from Pulse Waves. Sideline, he has a Mind Gem, One Shot, and then Pimp Particles. And then a bunch of Trouble Alerts, Mimic and Scrappy Doo. I think the first game we played, he went to Tangle thing. Yeah, he went to Tangle. It was a good bet for him because he didn't want blocking against me for some reason. I think because of Tri-Sentinel, but Tri-Sentinel do what Tri-Sentinel wants to do when he needs a pulse wave, so that was alright. So yeah, he ended up putting up his little Colosseum, mostly on his side. He did the alpha attack with Pin Particles to try to shoot and take something out. I forgot what he went for. I think he tried to go after Doom, like all cap Doom. But again, I just replaced his die. I made a miss. I knew I needed to get in there and try and like disrupt his defend little turtle shell because everybody was getting 19 here, 20 here, type stuff from either Captain Carter or Prime Wonder Woman. So anyways, I ended up throwing out Juggernaut. I ran through a bunch of things. I killed a bunch of things. Opened up certain areas, mainly that 2x2 Bystander Sentinel. so that I could retail, because I think he hit something. Oh, yeah. I would set up my little probe Doom bots, and then he would end up trying to kill him, and then he'd run back into the thing. So I was like, all right, cool, I can retail you. So Juggernaut would go out there, do his thing, clear up room, because I think I had a 2 and a 5 banked on Doom. So 2 would make him miss that first alpha attack, and then 5 would be me to open up what I needed to do with the clapback. And yeah, it just got really close. His Colosseum ended up helping me a big time because I get like 10 points every time something dies in there against him. And I think I racked up like 50 points extra on top of whatever I killed. And most likely...
Oh, wow. So that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, it was mainly like all his pogs and then the big boys that are like dial-wise. I think he still had Captain Carter, Wonder Woman, maybe a Hal Jordan, and I think something like that. But most of the things I killed, because they were all in his ring, so I got a bunch of extra points to it. Because we added it up, and then I was like, oh, you won because we didn't add the extra points. And he's like, oh, well, you get these also. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, that was a very close game. It was a fun game. Cole's a cool guy. He's very chill. I like playing against him. He was very, when you play somebody, you're just like, cool, let's go, type thing. But anyways, that's how it went with him. Next was against Star Clicks Trooper Kevin Manning. He was playing a little Atlanta squad. He was built around Orca, with his little wannabe Secret Six thing going on. So everybody had like like I swear most of this day, like everybody had enhanced like +1 to either stats or defenses. Like that's a lot of it. I think I won. He won the roll off and he ended up wanting to go first, so I picked map. We went to Stark Tower because I wanted him to move at least halfway if he wanted to get to me, which is what he ended up doing, because most of the players would do that. They would move like halfway to try to set up their alpha against me and Jugs. So he does that. He's making a bunch of water because of, I think, Namor? I think it was Namor. He just makes
Aquaman generates 7 at the beginning of his turn.
Yeah, he did that, but they were like really, really spread out. And I thought it was like a mild trick where he can like pop somebody in and then carry them back. So I was like really hesitant of keeping things around water. I didn't really know how it worked. I didn't see a Poseidon, so I wasn't too worried. But I just didn't want to stay in it. I know that Aquaman can make the tentacle bystanders anywhere within range or in a map or something. So I was like, all right, I need to get away from these. So he came over. He huddled up like toward the middle. And again, I was like, all right, well, Juggernaut needs to go in there and try to take stuff out, which I did end up doing. Again, he had a Fortify on his build, so the main thing I wanted to hit ended up using that to only take 1 damage. But I think most of the time we were in the middle. I'm pretty sure he took out Juggernaut for sure, but I think I took a couple of things out. Most likely the main one that I needed to lock down was that Rogue. And that was his main attacker that he used to go further out and do stuff against me with. But he was already on like my side of the map. So I had I think I had DJ Doom lock her down with the Evil Entwinement, so she couldn't really move. He was I could tell like the way he was playing, like he was very adamant of not like having her take damage. So he was like, oh, I'm not gonna move or something, So he was just he just left her there, and I was like, cool, I locked you down for at least a turn, which helped because I ended up taking out. I took out that Namor, the Atlantean Gerald, Spider Viking, and I'm pretty sure Aquaman, Orca, and Rogue were the only ones that were left. Something around there. But it was a pretty good game. I had a good time against playing him.
Yeah, Atlantean General and Namor seem like the first things that you go for.
Yeah.
Just because Namor's given +1 attacks to all the dolphins when they occupy water for close attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Lania in general is giving all the dolphins +1 damage.
Yeah.
So on top of the +1 to all combat values from Orca it's a neat trick.
Yeah, it was a cool team. But yeah, I think most likely the first one I took out was Spider Viking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Elsa also stole his destroyer armor, and then I think Wendigo went in there and just ate him up. So I ended up outwitting his super senses. So, and then we go to round 5, which is almost, I think this is the last round of Swiss. And it was me and Miles. We were
Miles, Ernest, Carby, Kane.
we were both what is this? 4-0?
Yeah.
We're both 4-0, so we kind of knew we were both gonna make it in. So we were just playing around, and this is a tactic I learned from Bryan, where you're just like, all right, hurdy dirty, I'm gonna go over here and see what I do over here. Oh, you got me, type thing. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how his teams played, just in case we matched up in top cut. So I was like,
Yeah, the philosophy is always, if you know you're making cut and you're facing somebody else that's good, you don't have to just throw the game, but you don't show them things that you think can catch them later. So the CCO last fall that I won, I faced the dude that I played in the championship in the last round of Swiss, and he was playing a Hadari Yao team, and I very intentionally did not ever use the Spider Ham Prime trait against him on the friendly characters can't be targeted by range attacks if they're within 4, because I was pretty sure he didn't know about it, and I thought this is going to be a bad matchup later. And at that point, I'd never played against a Hadari team before too, because Hadari before I came back, and then had kind of fallen out of the limelight when I had started playing. So that tournament, was kind of I don't want to show the Spider-Ham Prime trick, but also I kind of want to see how this team works. And so, yeah, there's just, when you know that you're going to make it in, there's no incentive to play to show all of your tricks to somebody that there's a good chance you could be facing again later.
So yeah, as soon as I knew that, I was like, all right, well, let's try to implement these these teammates things, because I had Chipster also in my head playing these games, because I was like, all right, well, I need to, fucking a win's a win, so I need to get points. Hence why my scores aren't oh, I'm gonna blast you out of the water. Obviously I tried, but like I said, everybody has Fortify, everybody has Resolve the Green. I'm not saying I wasn't trying to KO things, but I wasn't putting myself in a bad position to get fucking retailed or the clap back on me. I don't know. I one of my main UFC fighters is Lyoto Machida. He likes to react instead of going in there gung-ho and just full blast going after somebody. So that's kind of my thought process on it. But again, that's just...
The danger to playing your way, though, is that you have to be on the higher end of wins.
Oh yeah,
because
it's always like that. But like I said, if I'm hitting these fortifies and stuff out of my way, then I need to get the win for sure.
Right, because with the way you were scoring points, if you go 3-2 instead of 4-1, you're gonna be one of the 3-2s that doesn't make cut.
That's why I didn't. That's why I went.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we went against Miles,
Wakanda Hulkbuster,
friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show, host of the Degenerates podcast,
And
not one of many.
One of many,
three, I suppose.
And it's very
a podcast that really doesn't like Beetlejuice.
Doesn't like Beetlejuice, but ends up making a pseudo Beetlejuice team.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, you better come with that same fucking energy with other people, with your own teammate.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if he talks about how Miles hates fun this week.
Yeah, you better be on there, because Yes, we went against Hulkbuster. Took away free
Wakanda
actions.
Hulkbuster is going to end up being banned for silver at Adepticon.
Adepticon. It better be.
We'll talk more about Adepticon later.
So anyways, Wakanda Hulkbuster does the Beetlejuice thing, especially since you can't outwit that stupid power because he's playing Cosmo and T'Challa Star-Lord, which makes this whole theme Guardians of the Galaxy. And they are protected outwit. So you can't, you're pretty much have the juice aura going on in this game. At least if
You
you
get
play
one free
it.
action instead of none, though, so, you know.
Oh, yes, which most of the time, every time I played Miles, I just picked Close Combat Expert. That's it.
Prime Black Panther.
He had Animal on him, which most likely all the time, I'm pretty sure he just hypersonicked. Hulkbuster had Khonshu just so he can prob. Cosmo had Darkhold so that he can pick any of the free stuff. T'Challa Star-Lord had Liar, which was a good play because there's a couple times where I was like, where's this mind control coming from? Because I thought it was Cosmo, but it was T'Challa.
Also gives his outwit a 10 range, which is nice.
Yeah.
Miles loves the Liar Ring.
I'm a fan of it. Like playing it because I had it on my Doom. It's very good.
I just know, I almost just anticipate, though, whatever Miles is playing in Silver is going to have a Liar Ring.
Chair Panther, Ring of TK to get that outwit and perplex. He had Scotty P.
White shirt.
Pretty sure, yeah, with Indigo Tribe for that support. He had Mind Jam, Fortify, Hulk Mutant, Animal Man, another Black Panther for the Wakanda Hulkbuster, and he had Captain America for Prime Black Panther, a Khonshu, and then Scrappy Doo, which he would have Scott Porter make something, and they end up killing it, and then bringing out Scrappy Doo right off the bat, which was kind of cool and funny. I think he would pull something like the rug out from one of his constructs, and then that's how it would die. Elevation, I think, is the main thing he was using. He had Flashpoint, Flood, King's Tomb, and Major Brock's Bunker. Both games, spoiler, was on King's Tomb. I love that map. Back in the day when you used to play ID cards and stuff, I would play Black Adam. He just doesn't care about all the walls. He just breaks stuff, calls stuff in. So I wasn't too unfamiliar with it. Yeah, he was also running a dumpster fire. Both games, we ended up putting dumpster fire in the middle because we kind of knew that's where the action was going to happen. And it pretty much did. Let's see. So the first game, we're just playing, like a regular game. We're like, all right, well, we're both in, so we're not really too worried about stuff. Miles likes to bait me, I feel like, with stuff. He'd be like, oh, well, I'm just going to go in there and attack you. Like, just give me one more one turn or something. I'm going to go over there and we're in. So I don't need to worry about this game or whatever type shit. So I was like, okay, dude.
He loves to play that cheap-ass mind game shit.
So I'd break certain walls to get up into the next level, and then I wanted to get into that middle part, so I had to break another wall, and I think I ran Juggernaut up there, but I didn't put anybody else up there. It was mainly, I think, him and then something else to follow. I think it was Faust, just in case he wanted to come in and try to attack and then get probbed or whatever. And then I had most of my squad on the second level toward me, in that little corner that goes around that edge right there. But I had most of my big boys like Wendigo and Tri-Sentinel on the back side where there wasn't anything going on really. And if you could tell if he wanted to go that way, he'd have to like change his whole positioning to come toward those guys, which was fine because I knew he wasn't going to do that. Not having any freeze after the first initial one that I used, it didn't really hinder me as much just because we play the last 300 Modern I played was Juice, so I knew certain things, like I didn't need certain actions to do stuff, which was fine, especially with my squad because I can just I just need to get a good TK off a good line of TK off to do stuff. But yeah, it just ended up being a smash and bash. Us in the middle, fighting it out. Obviously, he ended up winning that game. I think time was called, so I couldn't like get another turn in to do anything. I'm pretty sure he never rolled a leadership roll to get Vibranium on that Black Panther, and he got, I think I got him to like 4 or 5. I just needed one more turn to try to get points, but it didn't work out, which was fine. He kept like baiting me with that Wakanda Hulkbuster. But yeah, most of the time he kept everything in the back, and he just kept like pushing Wakanda Hulkbuster out and then coming back and type thing. So he ended up beating me there, which was fine because I just wanted to see how his team played out. And then we go top cut because we ended up making it in. Again, this is a rematch against Cole. I win the map this time. We go to a long map, which is Tony Stark map.
Jar.
Yeah, he ends up placing his Colosseum in, I want to say like toward the middle, but enough that he can reach, I think, 6 squares toward me. This is a lot of just baiting. He wanted me to come in because he thought I was going to do the same thing again. And I knew I could do that surprise attack wise with him. He placed a little bit better this time than he did the first initial time. So I was like, all right, the only thing I can do is sneak up there with my my Doom bots, and then Cult Retribution something over there within 4. so yeah, right off the bat, he did his first initial alpha. He dropped Pim Particles, which gave me 5 points. I ended up replacing a die again, making a miss. He went after my DJ Doom. Either I was going to do that or I was going to make him take that, go back to the starting area. But I was like, I don't want to give him 10 points, so I'll just replace it. Because I think, again, I rolled in the middle like a 2 and a 4, which is not good with DJ replacements. Mm-hmm. And I think he for some reason he didn't like see my dice or whatever. He didn't know what I had, but again, I did the same thing, so I just replaced it and made a miss. But he was doing, I think he did like 7 damage. He would have KO'd my DJ Doom if I let it go through.
Oof.
So I did that. He ended up using the 5 points, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to. I'm up on points, so I don't really need to go after you, but I need to try to keep this game going. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to sidestep up, get in range with both my Doom bots, keep the other Collector Doom within range of DJ Doom so that I can mastermind to him if I need to, if he goes after me, because he broke through a wall already with his alpha. So I knew he had the possibilities of coming across, but he wasn't as cavalier to do it. So anyways, sidestep up. He takes out one of my Doom bots, and then I was like, oh no. So I ended up like dropping that one shot, and I ended up taking out something that was 10 points. It was Weasel. He kept Weasel out there. So I ended up just sniping that Weasel with that one shot. And then he was like, oh, he didn't see it coming type thing. So that's how that game went, because he didn't want to fully commit anything else against me. Because I think I had something else banked on my Doom, DJ Doom dice.
Yeah.
Next match was against Mills.
Back against Mills.
Back against Miles. Same thing. We roll off. He wins map. We go to King's Tomb. This time, first turn, I move up all my squad up into that middle area because I was like thinking of like how I should play this differently than the first time and see if I can put Miles on tilt. And it ended up working because I had everything up there. Tri-Sentinel carried up Wendigo. I placed him in a quarter so that Tri-Sentinel is right in front of Wendigo to give him the idea that I didn't want him to kill that Wendigo. So I was like baiting him to come in there to either kill Tri-Sentinel or try to kill Wendigo. I knew he couldn't like take other things out because he didn't have enough bolts to target certain things. Because I knew that stupid Hulkbuster is the only one that could come up there, or he had to push Prime Panther all the way in there. And then right off the bat, when his turn came, I was already halfway in there. I broke through walls, moved up all my squad in there. I think I had DJ Doom. He's the only one that was on the outside, like just also baiting. So he broke through right off the bat. He rolled his leadership for Prime Panther, and I knew this was big because if he hit it, he has one way to save himself. But he ended up rolling a 1, and I was like smiling in my head. I was like, cool. All right, remember that, and I did. So he ends up breaking through a bunch of walls. He TKs up and then running. I think he hypersonics in, and he ends up trying to attack multiple things with that Prime Panther. But he ends up only hitting, who did he hit? Something that had super senses, and I ended up rolling out of it. So he ended up only killing Tri-Sentinel, and then and then that was all his whole thing. Like that was his big alpha. And then I looked at him and I was like, I'm gonna kill that Prime Panther. He's dead. Miles was like, oh great. I saw it on his face. I saw fear in his eyes. So yes, that Panther died. I was up. He had to keep pushing things in there to try and beat me. But he ended up missing a bunch of things. He ended up trying to prob certain things. Faust shut him down. I think I took out the rest of his squad because it was Panther first. Then I think I took out Cosmo, which let me outwit stuff. And as soon as I could outwit things, I ended up taking down Hulkbuster. I got him pretty low. I didn't kill him. I didn't take him out that soon because I wanted to take out that Panther just to prove that I could. So I took out T'Challa, Panther, and then I think I took out Scott Porter. I took out most of his support. The only thing left he had was Hulkbuster. He ended up using Hulk Mutant on me, and I think Fortify a couple times. He brought out Scrappy Doo. Scrappy Doo's the only one that hung in there because my whole squad was mystical, so he was only taking 1 damage at a time.
Yeah.
Which was hella annoying. I ended up baiting Miles in with that Tri-Sentinel move. So that was cool. So last match was Jeff Ewing.
Was playing a Sinister Syndicate squad. I'll go through it real fast. Prime Iron Spider, The Spot with Avatar of Animal Man, Ghost Goblin, Mysterio with the Reality Gem, Sandman at 50, Bombshell, and Shocker from the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing starter set, it looks like.
Yeah, he had Iron Spider, not equipped, full points. Mysterio was at half, Ghost Goblin was at half, Sandman was at half, and so forth. He had Fortify, Hulk Mutant, and Resolve the Green, and then a bunch of Masters of Evil. We roll off. I think he wins and he goes first, so I pick map. I think I want a small map against him, but I ended up going with Stark Tower. So if I had small map, I would be able to get to him quicker. Anyways, we went to Stark Tower. I creep up, I barrier up, and get onto that platform right in front of us. He moved up on his first turn. He moved up, I think, part ways also. But like over the steps and then back down right in front of that barrier area. I think like the mouth of Stark, of Iron Man.
The little hidey hole between the blocking and the elevated.
Yeah, so he goes there for his first turn. And then I'm like a dummy. We both had dumpster fire, so we put those in the middle. I end up putting my Sentinel body toward the middle, but more on my side, which was, in hindsight, a really bad idea. But I was hoping to use it. In my head at the beginning of the game, I was like, all right, well, I can use it if I need to, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we go there. His next turn, he moves up closer to the middle area, but he locked in that whole part, so I couldn't get like right in. I had to like either destroy stuff to get in there or go around through the sides on through like the eyes or ears of the Iron Man face. So I ended up, I TK'd. I was like, fuck it, I need to do something. So I was like, all right, I'm either gonna win this game here if I can run through these guys and take stuff out, because he has to hit both senses and then burn his fortify or something. That's my thought process. But I was like, I was fried at this point. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do this and see how it goes. You shouldn't do that. But yeah, so I ended up TKing Juggernaut up. I stepped down, perplexed up his. I think I perplexed up his movement, either 1 or 2, because his attack was topped out with Joker canister. So I ended up running through Mysterio, Sandman, and I think there might have been one more. If not, it was Spot for sure. Those are the main 3 that I went after, because I was like, all right. And the Primine Spider, he was the other one. I left Bombshell and Shocker alone. So, I wasn't too worried about them. So I run through, I hit, because I'm a 14.
And you have Battle Fury from the
Yes.
Joker.
So Iron Spider is not getting a rollout. But he has a rollout on Mysterio, he has a rollout on Spot, and he has a Fortified Shilling. And he ends up rolling Mysterio first. Boom. Hits a 6. He ends up rolling Spot's senses. Boom. Hits, I think, a 5. And I'm just like, ugh. Either one of those hit, they're dead. He has to either burn Fortify or do what he's going to do, which is use my stupid terrain, which I forgot to pick up while I ran through that stuff. So he ends up using, I think Sandman uses the terrain to take 1 damage. He uses Fortify on Mysterio to take 1 damage. Or Iron Spider to take 1 damage. Mysterio rolled out of it, and then Spot rolled out of it. So I was just like, all right, well, that's game. Cool.
Yeah, because then you take 2 damage, too, for missing Spot.
I do take 2 damage, and I was like, all right, well, what else can I do? I can retell, but I didn't destroy. I didn't run through enough blocking to get those other guys. It was mainly just going to hurt Spot.
Yeah.
But I was like, I might as well do it. So I ended up pinging him, I think, for 2. And then I ended up blowing out a piece of blocking between Sandman and Mysterio, so they take 1. But again, on the clapback, he ends up taking out that Tri-Sentinel, and then he also drops out Juggernaut, and I also bring out Abscissa, so he takes out that Abscissa as well. Yeah. And from there, I knew it was going to be done.
Wait, what did he use to reduce the damage to Sandman?
A terrain, the Sentinel body.
Oh, was it your Sentinel body?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he had a Sandman on it, Mysterio, King Killmonger, and then Iron Spider was on it.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. So I was going to say, otherwise, I don't know how he did that, because he didn't have it in his markers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he used that with him, and then Iron Spider is the one that soaked up, I think, 4 damage, because he was top click, so he didn't really get damaged as much, now that I think of it.
Yeah. So a case of your terrain backfiring on you.
Oh, yeah. Just me forgetting to pick it up so that he can't do that. Anyways, he didn't wipe me, but I ended up taking out, I think, a Mysterio. I got Iron Spider pretty low, Spot pretty low, and then he ended up bringing in, what's his name? King Killmonger. I got him pretty low, but I think he rolled out of certain attacks because I tried to mind control King Killmonger, but I forgot to dual target certain things because he had stealth on stuff, and for some reason in my head I forgot that I had a demonic ring on. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I'm surprised by this. I finished with more points than Miles, and I played 1 less game.
So yeah,
That's unusual. Usually he outscores me.
so that was it. Hats off to Jeff. But yeah, I think
Jeff?
I played this. Bryan likes this build. I know what it does. We have another player in one of the places that we play at, Mythic. Chris plays it. So I kind of knew what to do about it, but yeah, it's kind of hard when certain things get rolled out.
Yeah, the interesting twists from like how I've built with Sinister Syndicate, because I know I'd been tinkering with Prime, Iron Spider, and Silver for the Syndicate team. Ghost Goblin and Bombshell, I think, were the biggest twists from anything that I've tinkered with.
Yeah.
Partially because when I was building, the Masters of Evil were banned, but also I just don't have them, so I haven't really built around them. Bombshell was an interesting choice because she feels really expensive for 40 points. I assume it's to give Spot access to probability control more than anything.
Yeah, because that's what he picked. He picked the ultimates. So, and I think Faust shut her down once, or shut down Spot once. But
The Shocker is a fun play. With the Force Blast and when he knocks back an opposing character, you may choose that character can't use defense powers until your next turn.
yeah,
That with influence is a neat combo.
yeah, that's pretty cool because
like
that's
that.
free, and then when he attacks, it happens, and he has pulse wave. So yeah.
Yeah. So between the two of us, I think we've covered 7 of the 8 of the top 8.
Nice.
So 8th was Dustin with that Pulse Wave squad. 7th was Will E with Mystical Mob, and he's the one that we haven't gone over, so we'll go over this real fast. Saturnine at 150 points.
Woo!
Had Daimonic and Remaker on
Okay.
her.
Okay.
Blue Beetle Prime at 75 with Avatar of Animal Man. Soldier Supreme at 75
Nice.
with Ring of Telekinesis. Felix Faust at 30 with the Stones of Merlin. Black Shirt Scott Porter.
Felix Faust with Invincible. Interesting.
So, Tarot deck because of Saturnine. Mind Gem and Fortify for one shots. He's got some Troublemakers and Trouble Alerts.
His
An
man.
interesting team. I know he's been on Saturnine for a while, so
Yeah, she's pretty fun. I think when I first started, I wanted to build with her, but she's just so much points, man.
yeah.
And she doesn't do enough for me to keep her or play her, even in a 400-point game.
Yeah. Then 6th place was my monster team. 5th place was Cole with the Soldier Squad. He beat me by 8 points for 5th place.
Wow. Both had close games with him.
Then Merritt in 4th with his Fantastic Four team. Miles in 3rd. His only loss of the day being to Cory.
Woo!
Cory in 2nd, and Jeff winning it. Now, Jeff lost to somebody during the course of the day. I'm very
Miles.
curious.
Miles.
Oh, he lost to Miles.
The pseudo
Difference
Beetlejuice.
between the top 3.
Beetlejuice squad.
I would have loved to have gotten a chance to play any of the 3 of you.
That would have been fun.
I was riding the Frittata Freeway all day.
Either you or me, so that's good.
We're running a little long on tourney recap, so we won't do a lot. Let me just give you a frittata to think about for next time.
All in all, it was a good tournament. Shout out to the Albany boys for keeping me sharp and playing games. That week I played the Sentinel Strike tournament down there with them. That was fun. But yeah.
Yeah. Very nice of you. Give him shout outs. Good job running everything to Jay Patel. Thank you, Starclick's Troopers, for running it. With all of that, here's the frittata to reflect on for next time, Cory. Please help me settle a discussion I'm having with a friend. Question. If a character with a printed range of 10 uses Pulse Wave, how many squares are affected by the Pulse Wave?
81?
What is the reference?
81?
That does it for this episode of the Eagle Hub. Until next time.
Get wrecked, nerds!
Get wrecked, nerds. Abolish ICE. Send CBP back to the border.